Don't eat that. Nyla Vance slapped the lobster out of Kong Shin's hand. The plate shattered across the marble floor. The entire restaurant froze. 6 red laser dots appeared on Nyla's chest. Kang Shin slowly looked up at her. You just destroyed a $500 dinner, he said quietly. Explain. Nyla pointed at the sauce dripping across the marble. If you had taken one bite, she said, you'd be dead before dessert. A guard stepped forward and lifted the ruined lobster. Under the chandelier light, the sauce began to bubble. Green. Someone whispered, what the hell is that? Kang's expression didn't change. Seal the room, he said. No one leaves. 2 hours later the lab report arrived. Tetrodotoxin. Enough to kill 3 men. Which meant one thing. Someone inside that restaurant had just tried to assassinate Kong Shin. And Nyla Vance had just ruined their plan. But the question wasn't who poisoned the lobster. The question was why they chose tonight. Because 3 other Mafia bosses were already on their way to the same building. The guards raised their guns. No one breathed. Kang studied her face. Nyla reached down and dipped a clean spoon into the ruined sauce. She lifted it toward the chandelier light. Look closely, she said. Tiny white crystals clung to the surface of the sauce. Those don't belong in lobster thermidor. The room went silent. Kang's eyes narrowed. Then he leaned back in his chair. Test it, he said. 2 days later, the lab results came back. Tetrodotoxin. One of the deadliest poisons on Earth. Enough to kill 3 men. And it had been sitting on Kong Shin's dinner plate. The report said the amount in the sauce could kill 3 grown men. That same night, Kong called Nyla to his office. He slid a contract across the desk. $15,000 a month, he said. You taste everything before I eat it. Nyla looked at the paper. Then she pushed it back. I want a lab. Kong raised an eyebrow. You're negotiating with a man who almost had you shot. You almost died, she replied. Silence filled the room. Then Kong picked up a pen. He signed the contract. For the next 2 weeks, Nyla tested everything. Every drink. Every plate. Every ingredient. Nothing was poisoned. Which made one question impossible to ignore. Where had the poison come from? She went back to the original dinner. The lobster. She pulled the supplier records. A seafood company on Korea's southern coast. Haedong Maritime Exports. Family-owned. Premium products. But when Nyla opened the company profile, something made her stop. The owner's daughter. Choi Yuna. Kong Shin's fiancé. Nyla called him immediately. You've been buying seafood from her family farm for 2 years, she said. Then Kong asked quietly, how long does poison take to build up in the body? Months, Nyla said. She wasn't planning to kill you that night, Nyla continued. She was poisoning you slowly. A week later, Kong hosted the summit of 5 families. 5 Mafia bosses. 5 territories. 1 table. If anything went wrong that night, it could start a war. Nyla moved through the dining hall quietly. Testing drinks. Checking plates. Everything looked clean. Until she noticed a server pouring wine. His hands were trembling. Just slightly. Nyla stepped closer. When he turned away, she dipped a test strip into the glass. The strip turned black. Cyanide. Nyla caught Kang's eye across the table. She gave the smallest shake of her head. Kong stood immediately. Takeda-san, he said calmly. Walk with me. The server slipped toward the kitchen exit. Nyla followed. By the time she reached the hallway, he was running. Someone wanted bloodshed tonight. The poisoning attempts didn't stop. But something else started happening. Kong began getting sick. Headaches. Fatigue. Confusion. Nyla tested every meal. Every drink. Everything was clean. So one morning, she watched him get ready. He reached for a black bottle on the dresser. Cologne. He sprayed his neck. Nyla froze. Under the expensive fragrance, She smelled something sharp. Something metallic. Stop, she said. Kong frowned. What? She grabbed the bottle and pressed a drop onto a test strip. The strip turned pale blue. Her stomach dropped. Dimethyl mercury, she whispered. Kong stared at the bottle. That absorbs through skin, she said. You've been poisoning yourself every morning. The room went completely silent. Which meant only one thing. Someone inside the house was trying to kill him. 2 weeks later, Nyla disappeared. She was walking to the market when a van pulled up beside her. Hands grabbed her. A needle hit her arm. When she woke up, she was tied to a chair in a concrete room. A man with a scar across his face sat across from her. Chef Vance, he said calmly. You know everything about Kongshin. I want that information. She said nothing. He nodded to the men behind her. They forced her mouth open. A syringe approached. Truth serum, he said. You'll talk. Nyla bit down hard. The man screamed as blood poured from his finger. You'll regret that, he snarled. Then the lights went out. Gunfire exploded in the darkness. Bodies hit the floor. Someone cut the ties around her wrists. But when the lights flickered back on, the men standing over her weren't Kang's guards. They grabbed her arms. Come, one said. We take you safe. Her instincts screamed something was wrong. Nyla twisted free. She grabbed a bag of chili powder from the table and threw it directly into the man's eyes. He screamed. Another raised his gun. Nyla splashed vinegar into his face. Blinded, he dropped the weapon. Nyla ran. Up the stairs. Through the door. Straight into Kongshin. Kong grabbed her shoulders. His expression was something she had never seen before. Fear. Behind him, the building was burning. How did you find me? She asked. He pulled out his phone. A blinking red dot appeared on the screen. I had a tracker sewn into your jacket, he said. You tracked me. I protected you. He opened the car door. No one takes what's mine. Nyla stared at him. What's yours? She asked. Kang looked directly into her eyes. You. 3 weeks later, Yuna returned. White dress. Tears. Apologies. She said her family forced her to poison him. She said she still loved him. Kang let her back into the house. Nyla was furious. You're insane, she said. Watch the kitchen, Kang replied. Yuna offered to cook one final dinner. Just the two of them. Like old times. Nyla tested the soup. The strip turned red. Tetrodotoxin. The same poison as the first night. She rushed to Kong. The soup is poisoned. Kong adjusted his tie. Serve it. Dinner began. Yuna smiled softly. To new beginnings. Kang lifted his spoon. Then he set it down. You first, he said. The smile vanished from her face. Guards stepped forward. The game was over. Years passed. The house was quiet now. Peaceful. Nyla stood in the kitchen flipping through old files. The Haedong Maritime shipments. 47 clients had bought seafood from Yuna's family farm. 47 people who might have been slowly poisoned. Most of the names were strangers. Then she turned another page. Her breath stopped. Nyla stared at the name on the list. Her hands slowly lowered the file. Kang leaned closer. What is it? He asked. Nyla turned the paper toward him. For the first time in years, Kangshin's face went completely still. That's impossible, he said. Nyla shook her head slowly. It isn't. Outside the window, Seoul's skyline glittered in the night. Inside the kitchen, the silence felt heavier than any gunshot. Because the name on that list belonged to someone inside their house. Someone they had trusted for years. Someone who had been sitting at their table, watching them eat. If Nyla was right, the enemy had been beside them the entire time. And the poisoning had never actually stopped. So here's the real question. If someone inside Kongshin's house had been poisoning people for years, who do you think it was?